After all the caves, the simulations, and the illusions, what now? If everything can be questioned, the solidity of matter, the certainty of time, even the trustworthiness of memory, where do we stand? Do we cling to absolute answers, or do we awaken to a new way of seeing? For thousands of years, seekers split into two camps. One camp longs for absolute answers, the ultimate truth, the divine decree, the final equation. If only we could crack the cosmic code once and for all, everything would make sense. Religions promise this. Some branches of science chase it too. The elusive theory of everything. The hunger is deep to know, to settle, to rest. But another camp whispers a different truth. Maybe there is no final answer. Maybe reality is not a stone tablet but a river. Maybe the path is not about conquering uncertainty but navigating it. These voices don't seek closure, they seek coherence. Instead of asking, is this real or false? They ask, does this hold together enough to live, love, and evolve? And this second perspective, coherence over certainty, might be the hidden doorway humanity has missed for centuries. Under the Bodhi tree, Siddhartha sat night after night. He faced demons, desires, and illusions. Finally, as dawn broke, he awakened. But what did he awaken to? Not a rigid truth carved into the cosmos, but the impermanence of all things. Life as a flux, reality as waves of arising and passing. For him, awakening wasn't grabbing the truth, it was aligning with coherence, the middle path between extremes. Fast forward to the Matrix. Neo doesn't win because he finds a hidden fact. He wins because he sees differently. The bullets stop not because of strength, but because he perceives the code, the coherence beneath the illusion. Suddenly, he isn't trapped by appearances. He can bend them, navigate them. It's a cinematic metaphor for shifting lenses from absolute truth-seeking to coherent flow. Maybe you've had a moment too, a near-death experience where time slowed and the trivial dissolved, or a meditation where thoughts fell silent and the world felt stitched into one seamless fabric, or even in heartbreak when the illusions of permanence cracked and you suddenly saw life raw, painful, but real. These are not final answers. They are awakenings into coherence, where life holds together without needing to be absolute. And today we can practice coherence like a skill, breath work that harmonizes body and mind, meditation that aligns perception, even science experiments showing the brain's default mode network silencing during flow states. In these moments, you're not escaping reality, you're stabilizing it, you're tuning your personal vortex so it doesn't collapse. Each story, from Buddha to Neo, from personal cracks to daily practice, points to the same realization. Awakening is not about uncovering a single truth, it's about learning to live inside a coherent vortex. So let's step back and summarize this whole journey. Rabbit hole 1 began with a question. If dreams feel real, how do you know you're not dreaming now? Along the way, we walked through childhood illusions, Plato's cave, quantum experiments, movie metaphors, cultural clashes, and future technologies. Each chapter pulled at the thread of reality until the fabric looked unstable. And here's the truth. If you only have two lenses, you will always be stuck. Lens 1. Absolute truth. Religion uses it. Some sciences chase it. It gives comfort, but it demands conformity. If your truth is absolute, then all other perspectives must be wrong. This creates dogma, rigidity, and often conflict. Lens 2. Total illusion. The opposite. Nothing is real. Everything is a dream. This lens collapses meaning altogether. If nothing is true, why bother? This is the trap of nihilism, despair, or endless escapism. Both lenses fail. One makes the world too hard, the other too soft. One freezes, the other dissolves. But there is a third lens, coherence. Reality is not an absolute rock or a total void. It is a rendered vortex. Waves, probabilities, perceptions stitched together into something usable. Its value is not in being final or fake, but in being stable enough to live in. Coherence is the hidden law that lets life function. Your heartbeat is coherent, irregular yet stable enough to sustain you. Language is coherent, imperfect but shared enough for us to connect. Even physics is coherence, particles that flicker but obey enough rhythm to form stars, atoms, and your hand holding a coffee cup. And notice this: coherence is never rigid. It flexes, bends, breathes. A jazz band improvises yet stays in rhythm. A conversation wanders yet remains meaningful. A family survives hardship because, though shaken, its core coherence holds. Awakening, then, is not discovering the truth. Awakening is seeing coherence itself. It's realizing that when coherence breaks, in your mind, your body, your society, things collapse. But when coherence strengthens, life evolves. This reframes everything. It bridges Buddha and Einstein, Plato and the Matrix, mystics and scientists. It explains why illusions matter, why stories guide us, why culture fights, why technology both frees and enslaves. Coherence is the thread tying every shadow, dream, and paradox together. This is the Coherent Awakening. So, what does this mean for you? Right now, listening to this, it means you no longer need to ask, is this real or not? That's the wrong question. The right question is this coherent? Your relationships, do they stabilize you or fragment you? Your career, does it align your skills and purpose or scatter you into incoherence? Your beliefs, do they connect you with others or trap you in rigid dogma or nihilism? Reality equals vortex rendering. Coherence equals stability. Incoherence equals collapse. That's the formula. Simple, elegant, transformative. And once you see it, you can't unsee it. Just like Neo seeing the code, or Buddha watching impermanence, or your own moment of clarity, the world doesn't become less mysterious, but it becomes more navigable. Suddenly, you are not a passive spectator, but a navigator. You can walk through caves, illusions, and simulations without getting lost, because you're no longer chasing absolutes or drowning in nothingness. You're surfing coherence. Awakening isn't the end of mystery, it's the beginning of mastery. And that mastery doesn't mean control over others, it means harmony within yourself, with others, and with the wider vortex of life. So now, ask yourself, are you living in a coherent vortex or just shadows on the wall? Because this rabbit hole doesn't end here, it only branches, and each branch carries both danger and discovery. The next one won't just question reality, it will question power. Why societies fight, why truths clash, why chaos spreads like wildfire when coherence shatters. Follow the white rabbits, because the next rabbit hole isn't just about illusion, it's about survival. And it begins now.
From fighters we ascend.